Our next guest was a regular on Saturday Night Live from 1998 to 2006. He's gone on to do great things, including his TV show Archer, which debuted this week, season 5, I should say, debuted this week on FX. He's Chris Parnell. Chris, thanks for joining us here in St. Louis.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You grew up in Memphis, so you must have spent some time in St. Louis from time to time.
I visited St. Louis. I think it was there's a Six Flags there. Am I right?
There is a Six Flags, yes.
I think we took a family trip to Six Flags when I was a wee lad.
How about that? How's the barbecue down in Memphis?
It's pretty fantastic.
Living in New York, could you find barbecue as good as you found in Memphis?
Not as good, but there were one or two barbecue places that I discovered that were pretty strong.
New Yorkers don't really get barbecue, though, do they?
Well, I think the people who get it the most tend to be people from other places who live there, move there. So.
Yeah. Talk about Archer, Season 5. It's a cartoon, and it's a non-governmental spy agency. Sounds perfect.
It's a very adult kind of filthy cartoon. And, we've been a spy agency in the past 4 seasons, but this season things have been shaken up quite a bit, and we're more of a drug organization. We've sort of been disavowed from our spy duties and all that, and threatened by the American government that if we try to do spy stuff anymore, we'll all be put into jail for life. So now we're trying to unload a lot of cocaine and do some arms trading and things like that. So it's called Archer Vice this season, so it's gone in a very different direction.
All right. Now, when they came to you and they said, we want you to be the voice of a cartoon character, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, absolutely, I would love to. And then when I read, the script, I was like, oh, man, this is really good stuff, because the scripts are so dense with jokes and references and details. Adam Reed, the creator of the show, who writes them all, is a pretty amazing fellow.
How do you record it while looking at the video, or you just record it by yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, I just record it by myself. I usually record here from Los Angeles, and I'm on a phone patch with the guys down in Atlanta where the show's produced and animated, and they'll direct me from down there. And if there's a scene with a lot of back and forth dialogue, one of those guys will read the other parts, I'm just in a booth by myself.
So then they match up your voice to the cartoon's mouth as it moves.
Exactly. Yeah, they animate it after we've recorded our parts.
Yeah. How much because ad-libbing is so much a part of comedy and really sort of funny bits, how much ad-libbing can be done during that?
There's a bit, but it's mostly what's on the page already. I mean, when there's a group reaction to something like an explosion or something happens, there's room to sort of to wiggle around in there in terms of how your character would respond to that, and that's encouraged. But mostly, honestly, it's all there on the page.
Yeah, and then when you see it in its final product, you must think, well, that's just the whole magic of it all, I guess.
Yeah, well, and the great thing for me is, it's such a span of time from when I record it to when I see it, like watching the premiere on Monday night, I was like, oh, yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about all that. So it's pretty fun.
Hey, I was good. That was really funny. I forgot that it was funny.
Yeah.
Chris Parnell, our guest for a couple more minutes. He's in Archer Vice on FX. Now, when does it air on FX? Because it always just shows up on my DVR.
It is 10 p.m. on Monday nights on FX.
10 p.m. on Monday nights, Season 5. Now, can I get the other seasons on Netflix and everything else? Or
I think so, yeah. I think they're all out there.
FX is, I tell you what, FX is a great channel, man. They're doing some great original content.
They really are, and they part of what I think makes them great is they give their showrunners, the creative people, a lot of freedom to do what they want to do and don't, get their hands in the pie too much. So.
I have to ask you about Lazy Sunday. It's television history you were a part of in filming and creating the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah. I had no idea when we did it that it was going to be what it was, but and it was even probably about a week after we did it before I had a sense that it had become this phenomenon.
Now you were part of the cast of Saturday Night Live then. Was Andy part of the cast as well?
Oh yeah. I think it was Andy's first season.
Okay,
yeah.
and then what's this troupe we always hear about? This sort of, you guys were a part of like a side comedy group or something?
Well, Andy and a gentleman named Akiva Schaefer and Yorma Taccone. They have the Lonely Island, which they started out on the internet, and that's kind of how they got discovered and found their way onto SNL. Andy being the performer, and then Akiva and Yorma were writers. And now they've gone on to direct movies and things. So yeah, it's a pretty successful little group of guys.
And then they called you up and they said, "Hey, we have an idea for a bit," and you guys sort of went rogue and kind of did it on your own, right?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, they said, "We love the raps that you've done on Weekend Update, and we do the rap thing too. Would you want to do one with us?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So yeah, we just wrote it in their office and then went out and shot it. And yeah, it was kind of guerrilla style.
You brought it then to Lorne Michaels, and he said what?
He said, "Let's put it on the air." I think he liked it a lot.
Wasn't there some nervousness, like it really wouldn't go over all that well?
There was a little bit, but those guys, Andy and Akiva and Yorma, had so much experience already doing the rap thing and putting together music videos for their internet channel that, they brought this skill set to it that made me feel, pretty confident and that they knew what they were doing. So yeah, you don't know how something's going to play, but we had an idea that people would like it at least enough for us to not be embarrassed by it.
Right. And then it airs, and I think I actually saw that live first, and I thought, wow, that's really, really funny. and didn't think of it again. And then like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody's talking about it. Then somebody put it on some obscure website called YouTube, right?
I know. Who's heard of that?
But they credit your video, Lazy Sunday, as the first viral video of all time.
I have heard that. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty cool honor if in fact that is true.
Yeah, and then so go to this channel, YouTube, YOU or YouTube? Which one is it? I don't know what I mean. It's really something special to be part of that. So we thank you for spending a couple minutes talking about that. Chris Parnell, anything else you're working on we should know about?
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight on ABC, third season of Suburgatory premieres.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. It's let's see, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. I guess you guys are in the Central time zone.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really proud of that. That's a great show, very funny. And I do a show called Rick and Morty on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, and then another show called Word Girl that's on PBS for the youngsters.
You're all over the place.
Somewhat, here and there.
Yeah, good for you. All right. So Monday nights, FX, Archer Vice, 5th season. Chris Parnell plays Cyril, and you're the nerdy guy. Is that typecasting or what?
And I wish I could say it wasn't, but yes, it is typecasting a little bit. And it's a role, a genre that sort of comes easily to me, I have to admit.
All right. I'm going down to Memphis this summer to watch some Cardinal baseball down there. What's the best barbecue joint down there?
Oh boy, well there's the dry rub barbecue at the Rendezvous, but then you got a lot of the wet style barbecue, and there's so many good places. I mean, Corky's is the first that comes to mind, but it's certainly not the only one. But you can't go wrong with either of those joints.
All right, Corky's or Rendezvous. I like the name Rendezvous. It sounds a little salacious.
Yeah, it's a cool room. It's an interesting restaurant.
All right, Lazy Sunday you can find on Hulu. It's got 8 billion hits now, and Archer Vice on FX Monday nights. Chris Parnell, thank you very much for spending time with us, and good luck down the road.
Thanks so much.
You got it. Have a good day.
You too.
Chris Parnell, former SNL actor, and now on FX. Can we play? We have that clip of Lazy Sunday. Andy Samberg and Chris Parnell, Lazy Sunday, which debuted on Saturday Night Live. It's considered the first true viral video that went up on an unnamed website named YouTube.
Right in the theater room is gonna get tragic. We're about to get taken to a dream world of magic. The chronic, what calls of Narnia? Yes, the chronic, what calls of Narnia? We love that chronic, what calls of Narnia? Pass that chronic, what calls of Narnia?
two guys rapping about going to a matinee of the Chronicles of Narnia in the most gangster rap possible. It was really quite brilliant, and a part of American history right there, American pop culture, no question about it. All right, it's 9:47 here, Big 550.